At least we got Shannon.
Okay, and now it's time to introduce an amazing woman to give her lead, Mindy.
Hi, I'm Mindy. I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Mindy.
I'm nervous as hell now that I'm up here. I am from a small town called Stryker, Ohio, which is up by Defiance. A lot of people don't know where Stryker's at. I grew up, I had an awesome childhood. My parents are still married. When I got into addiction, my parents, they took my kids so they wouldn't go into foster care. And my kids will never leave there. My mom's now blind and my dad has just started dementia. But my mom's a strong woman. She still takes care of my grandbaby blind. I don't know how she does it, but when I was younger, my grandparents owned a bar, so of course I was going to turn out as an alcoholic. You know, Grandma's house was the bar. I think the first time I drank a beer, I was in 6th grade. I wanted to know what my dad was doing. He was my hero. He still is to this day. I wanted to know what it tastes like. Well, in 6th grade, I liked the feeling. So as I got older, my parents were either at my grandma's bar, the Eagles, VFW, AMVets. You know, it was a weekend thing. We always were there. I graduated high school in '97. Actually, when I was 8 years old, I was molested. And then when I graduated high school, I was raped by 2 of my sister's friends. Then it was off to the races. I got drunk almost every day. I started bartending myself. Back then, you could drink when you bartended. I don't know if it was legal, but we did it. And then I would make sure the bar stayed open after closing time so that we could get drunker. Anything to numb the pain. After that, I got married. I had my first son at 18. Got married, had another girl I was the age of 20, I think. Or no, I was 25. And then I had twin girls at the age of 30. I was with him for 9 years. He traveled. I was cheated on for 9 years. It is what it is. I raised my kids. I worked at General Motors. Then I had a cousin who was a horrible, horrible heroin addict. She was 9 months pregnant. I was the godmother. I was supposed to get the baby. She was 9 months pregnant, and 2 weeks before she had the baby, they got killed. Then it was off to the races for meth. I'm also an addict when it comes to drugs. Anytime I could get my hands on drugs, I did it. I mean, it didn't matter. The only thing I would not do was heroin because of my cousin. Then I decided to move back home with my kids. I got divorced. And I worked 3 jobs. My parents were raising my kids also then. But as long as I handed my dad, usually I'd give him half my tips every night. As long as I handed him money, it was kosher. He didn't care. I knew my kids were taken care of. I knew they were going to be raised good because I was raised good. My oldest son, he's actually an electrician, just got married last year. He's phenomenal, doing great. My daughter, the 20-year-old, she graduates from cosmetology school on her birthday, June 12th, and she gave me a little grandbaby. After that, I've been doing drugs ever since Brandy died. I think it's been 12 years now. I didn't know what mental meds were. I didn't know counseling. I didn't know any of that stuff. And then I tried foundations. I never got arrested until I moved to Mercer County. And I don't know how. I got 3 DUIs back home and I never went to jail. They always let my dad come get me. But if anybody knows the Crouches, that's who I was with for 12 years. And nobody likes Rick Crouch or Ricky Crouch. That's just how it is. I love them to death, both. But Rick would have done anything for anybody, really. He passed away last July. And I don't know how, but I managed to stay sober through all that. To back up, when I was on drugs back at home, my mom decided to do the tough love thing on me. That's when I decided I wasn't mentally stable to take care of my kids. She wanted me to relocate to get my shit together. Well, let me tell you, when I got to Mercer County, it got way worse. I mean, when you move in with a drug dealer, you're going to get any drug you want, really. Or if the stepson's a drug dealer, I mean. And it just happened last year, right before Rick got sick. Thank you. Right before Rick got sick, I had talked about getting clean with my daughter. And there's a rehab back home. She called me and said, "Hey, Mom, there's a bed open for you. Are you going to come?" And I said, "Yeah, come and get me." I said, "I'll go." And actually, last year at this time is when I got out. And so I went, and now today I have all my kids back in my life, my granddaughter, my parents, everybody that I need, they're there. But when Rick died, I got in trouble like a year and a half ago. I got pulled over, and I had a Brillo in my pocket. That's to smoke crack. You guys don't know what it's for. But it was dirty. It had cocaine on it. I wasn't sentenced yet. I kept getting my case prolonged because I knew Rick was sick. So instead of going to court, I went to rehab. Well, of course, we all know I had a warrant for my arrest. So I got back, and I could tell how sick Rick was, and I didn't want to turn myself in. The judge said I did the right thing by going to rehab and getting my shit together and doing all that. So I ended up in jail for, I think, 27 days. I got out 2 days before my son's wedding. I made it to the wedding. And for some odd reason, God told me to come home. I took Rick to the hospital on the 15th of July, and he died on the 29th. He was full of cancer. And then I did use once after that. I sat in jail for 12 days. And then I asked if I could have drug court, and I asked if I could go to the house of hope, because I knew that would hold me accountable. Which I'm moving out of the house of hope in 2 weeks because I finally graduated. My relationship for the last 12 years, sometimes it was toxic, sometimes it wasn't. And I was one that, if I didn't get my way, I threw a fit. Might have threw a punch or two, you know. But, I mean, I don't know. I lost train of thought. Rick was basically my life. He was one that never turned his back on me. But he could set the drug down, I couldn't. So, I'm not going to say that it's almost a blessing that he passed, I guess, because I got to change my people, places, and things. It doesn't make it any easier, though. What else was there? Right now, I am, like I said, about graduated from the House of Hope. I finally got my own place. I move out. Oh, Marcia. My best friend, too. I met her when I moved to town. She is on her last bout of life. She has one leg. She has 4 toes. She has diabetes really bad. and she's on dialysis. So she's another reason why I got sober. But now that I got my place, I get to bring her back home. She's in Troy Rehab. But that's all she wants is to get back out of the nursing home. Nobody wants to be in a nursing home. And then everything, I mean, now that I'm sober, everything's really, I mean, it's fallen into place. But I think that's all I got.
Hey, thank you, Mindy.
I'm Crystal, an alcoholic.
Hey, Crystal.
Mindy, that was really good. I've known you on the streets and today, and I'm going to tell you, you have come so far, and I'm just very, very proud and blessed to get to watch you become the woman that you're becoming. So it's an honor. So with that, the floor is open.
I'm Tom, alcoholic. We have a year sobriety? Almost a year.
Yeah.
You were up there giving the lead, and that was a really good lead for just almost a year sobriety. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Taking alcoholic.
Hey.
Love you, Doc. You know, I love the person that you are. I didn't know you before, but, you know, I feel like even though you're in your active addiction, you never really lose who you are. I mean, it depends on it, I guess. But, yeah, man, proud of you. Thanks for sharing, and, you know, good luck. God bless.
Thanks, Kate.
I'm Ryan, I'm an alcoholic. Mindy, it has been a pleasure getting to know you over the last couple months. Again, in God's world, there's no coincidences. We share a lot of the same qualities, I think, in a person, and the positive ones. And I really like that anyone who's around you, they can be themselves, you know, and I appreciate that you do the same. Yeah, you're just an awesome person. I really liked in your share, kind of mentioning along the lines of God doing for you what you couldn't do for yourself. I've had some really close people in my life too that, you know, today I can kind of see it as, I don't know, I don't want to say a blessing, but I know they're in a better place and they're not struggling like they was when they were here with me.
Right.
And yeah, I think that's a really great realization to come to. It doesn't make it easier, but it makes it able to move forward. So thank you for your share.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Ryan.
Where's the alcoholic?
Hey, Crystal.
Thanks, Mindy. You did great. It takes a lot of courage to get up there and share. And I just wanted to tell you that I didn't really personally know you. I knew of you, and we've had been in jail with you a time or two. But you've come a long way, and to see, you know, you're actively working this program. You're up there sharing with others, and you're graduating to House of Hope. Like that's progress, and you get to bring Marcia home to your house. And if we're not sober and who we're meant to be, then we don't have the ability to help other people. And I'm proud of how far you've come. And it may be a scary step, but change is good and it's necessary. And as long as you keep coming to these rooms and doing what works for you, you'll do great. You'll go far. And I'm just excited to see what your next step is, and I love you.
Thanks, I love you too.
I'm Joni, I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Joni.
First of all, so I was, not that I want to see you cry, but I had a sponsor that I don't think she ever gave a lead and didn't have tears. And she taught me that, you know, basically tears are really rough to share that, and there was a lot of that pain yet, and it was still really raw. But I know this today, as we continue to work this program, and you're just starting into these steps, and that's where I really feel like my transformation happened, where we get to stand up here in 6 months and do that same lead, and you hear so much more of the recovery part of it, and just maybe a little less pain. But yeah, it's all part of the process of learning how to live life on life's terms. And those steps are the amazing part that have taught me how to do that. And it's helped me clear up that wreckage of my past and do what's right today. And I'm just really grateful that you're taking me on this journey with you. And I think you're a pretty amazing lady. And I want to pass it back.
Thanks, John.
I forgot, I'm working the steps with Joni. I didn't say that.
You're reading that there big book.
Right.
The upper girl.
I'm Jim, I'm an alcoholic. Thanks, Mindy, good job. Good job, girl. I always loved when people could start, start telling their story, and the longer I'm in this program, the more I believe that that's one of the most healing things that we can do.
Yes.
You're gonna find some joy and some peace from doing that. You do it because other people gain some strength and hope from your story. That's something I never expected from you, but it was a gift to me, and it was pretty neat. So I hope you continue to do that. I hope to see you around a lot.
Yeah.
Congrats on the movie coming up,
Thank you.
but you don't ever graduate from recovery.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope I see you.
Yeah, you will.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you. I'm Al, I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah.
And appreciate you sharing your story, and I think it's the first time I've ever seen you without them. I don't know what you call it.
Crochet.
Crochet, I was gonna say, I didn't think it was any crocheting. First time I think I ever seen you without them.
Right.
It amazes me that somebody would sit there and do this here. Not me looking at it, it's just, but with the talent you have, it's not talent I know, and I don't have the patience for it, but no, I just appreciate you sharing. Thank you.
Thank
you.
Thanks, Al.
Kevin, I'm not. Thanks, Mindy. That's a good lead. And, and one of the things that I guess I found out over time when I'm here, it's not how long you stand up there, it's what you say when you're standing up there.
Yeah.
And, in this time, well, it's plenty long, it's after 7:30. I know people that's have only been there 5 minutes, But, you said what you had to say. And the thing is, and it's what's really great, is if you stick with us and stay with us, that story gets a little longer and it gets a little better because good things start happening.
Right.
And, when we first come into here, none of us got here on good behavior and a perfect life, we just didn't happen that way for us. But the longer you stay here and the longer you work this program, the better that story gets, And you've grown, you've made a lot of progress here, and I'm very happy for you. You went through and you did what they asked you to do at the House of Hope. That's sometimes that's hard. Sometimes that's hard when we're new into recovery. Sometimes we don't want to do what other people want us to do. And that's, and you've done that, you made your mind up that you were going to do that. And that's a great accomplishment. And
see me at the meetings, and keep coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Have a good
Wayne.
day.
Thank you.
Aaron, alcoholic.
Aaron.
I guess I've seen you grow so much because I've known you for, well, 7 months or so. Did I do that?
No.
Did I do that?
Anyways, I'm proud of you. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
And I know you can do it. Stay sober. You've been through a lot. And you just keep on rocking it, girl.
Thanks.
Yep. Love you.
Love you.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thanks, Aaron.
Back over there on the speaker.
Is there anything on speaker?
No, until the music came on.
He was.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's awesome. Okay.
Ted, I'm an alcoholic.
Ted.
Mindy, thanks for that lead. I see you, like I said, sitting there crocheting. Anyways, I now know you better, and know some of your stories. So, anyways, keep up the good work and keep coming back. And
Thank you.
you're doing a great job. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thanks, Doug.
Thanks, Deb.
I'm a recovering alcoholic.
Andrew.
I want to thank you for sharing with us, and I know it's hard to talk about people you've lost when you're pretty close, and I just want to thank you for sharing with us. Thanks,
I'm John, alcoholic.
Hi, John.
And Mindy, I don't know you very well, and part of that's my fault because I drive a truck and I don't make many meetings. And I'm just lucky that I even got to be here tonight. And maybe God sent me here. But I know Rick pretty well.
Oh, do you?
And I didn't even know he passed away. I feel bad now. But, and going up there, that, sometimes, like now you're probably thinking, oh good, I got the first one over with. I hope it's easier for you the next time. Because it ain't ever easier for me. I've been here a long, long time. I've done hundreds of them. And I don't like doing it anymore now than I did when I started. But you come here, and if you listen, and if you do what's suggested, and things will get better. Your life gets better. It's not a bed of roses.
Right.
I guarantee you that. But it'll get better. You'll feel better about you. That's the big thing. So you just keep coming in, and there'll be a good ending, I think.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John.
My name's Wes, I'm an alcoholic. I was busy helping clean up pizza and missed my turn. Thanks for your lead, Mindy. I just need to know, where are all those throws that you crochet? Where did they all go?
I usually give them away.
Well, I think you ought to save them over to the store. I think you found something here that works for you, and there's somebody else that none of us got here on an upswing. I did, Shirley. We've all got problems and things we have to overcome, but there's a single solution, and it's pretty powerful because it actually works. So I'm happy I'm here, and I'm happy I got to hear your story.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Hey,
Wes.
Wes.
It's our people's turn.
Yep.
We don't have speakers.
Oh, no speakers. Perfect. All right. I was like, I know Wes has the wingspan. Why isn't he turning back here? Oh, gosh, Mindy. I'm Katie. I'm an alcoholic.
Hey, Katie.
Yeah, I've just been one of those transformations that I've been blessed to see. And, you mean a lot to us. Like, from before we ever even met you here, and I hope you would bring it to the room. And I hope that for a lot of people, but I've been blessed to be able to see it with you. And just
stayed around here, like there's just different seasons where I'll look back and like have this epiphany about a time in my life or just a turning point that I began to be somebody different than I'd ever been. And you know, I've seen that in you, and I think you'll stick around. And as long as you stick with this program and continue to grow, you know, you'll see that too. And those blessings, like your kids in the background and your family, it's just indescribable. It's something that, like, we can tell one another, but you gotta live it to really feel it. And then we get to share it with one another, and that's a really special blessing. So I thought it was cool. Just thinking about like when you guys were doing the trees in the neighbor's house, and you were playing ball with the kids in the backyard. Like you've just always been a friendly person, and to see you free of that thing that kept you from really being yourself is a miracle and a gift. And so we were talking. I said, Mindy's giving her lead on your 6-year anniversary, you know, like. But it kind of, I don't know, like we had talked, you know, when you and Rick were doing the trees, and like we know the life, we get it, like,
Right.
and just. So, like, to be able to see you in a different place and to know where you're coming to a meeting, like where Jason gave his token and you to give your lead, there are just times where I pause and I'm like, I have lived a freaking dream, like a miracle. And I'm not always so cognizant of that. Like, sometimes my life gets busy or I get, you know, overwhelmed and the gratitude's, I've got to reach for it a little harder. And so, yeah, it was just like one of those pauses in the parking lot, like, dude, this is freaking cool. I think there really is a God. So yeah, it's just so neat to be here tonight and to hear your story the first time you share it. I hope you keep coming around and we get to keep sharing this life together. And wow, congrats, Jason. 6 years, I don't know how we got there. One day at a time, I guess. And that's such a gift. And even like in this room, I remember just, I don't know, like early on, not thinking that maybe Jason was going to make it. I was getting, you know, just getting my feet wet in the program. And then, like, to rewind a few years before that, we've got a picture of Grayson on these steps over here. And he was, I don't know if he was probably about the same age, maybe he was junior, that anniversary dinner. Anyway, Jason had the kids here. We were kind of estranged and stuff was rocky. And I wasn't real sure about you people, and I don't know, I just kind of had this, I do that like on anniversaries and sometimes just because I reminisce a lot. But to like, you know, do this rewind and then fast forward back through and to think that we're sitting down here and you're collecting a 6-year token. That is pretty incredible. So anyway, that's all I have. Thanks for letting me share.
Jason alcoholic day. Yeah. I was gonna get a blanket today or. I guess it's great. Mindy's giving a lead. I'm celebrating my birthday. I'm getting a blanket now. I'm just kidding.
I got it on that state when it started.
But yeah, some of what Katie said, you know, I remember looking out the back of her house and, you know, who's that lady playing ball in the backyard with the kid? I mean, she was yelling and screaming and hitting and, you know, chasing the ball, trying to get the kids out at the base or whatever, and I knew they were working next door, touching a bunch of trees up, and, wow, that's kind of cool, you know. I was a little jealous. I should be out there. You know, but I can usually tell when somebody's like me, and I knew that you were probably one of us, but, you know, and we had some conversation a little bit here and there, and I thought, oh, that'd be cool, you know, and now you're doing your lead, so I thought that's really cool. And something I could really relate with your lead, I remember, especially early on, it was so painful. That's all I could really remember from my past was that pain. And that's what I would use, because I didn't want to hurt like that. And I didn't know how to deal with it. And the only time I would talk about that pain was after I was buzzed up.
Right.
But now in AA, I've learned how to talk about it being sober. And I remember the first few times, though, I didn't even want to talk about it because I was afraid, I was scared that I was going to go back to using, you know. And I don't have to do that today. And like Kevin said, eventually, like, that pain doesn't hurt as bad. It kind of still there, but it doesn't have the same effect on me as it did back then. And then there's some good things mixed in. And then I start, stringing this life together that I never thought I could have. And so yeah, thanks for getting up there and being vulnerable. I think that's huge. It's huge. It helps us. It helps you. It helps. It's just a good thing. So yeah, I think that's all I have for now. And maybe I'll get a blanket next year. All right, that's all I got.
I'm Jared, alcoholic. I guess I ain't got much to say since I'm the last one here now. But yeah, it was a great lead, and I knew Rick and Ricky. I know the whole family. I know how people talk about them, and they've never done me dirty, and I've always stuck up for them. So don't think you're the only one out there, because I'm right here too. But I think you'd be proud of where you are today. I'm glad that you didn't use even after his death. And so I was talking to him a little bit before he passed away, a couple months before in there, and we was talking one-on-one. But yeah, I'm glad to see you're here and doing good. And thanks for the lead.
Yep. Thanks, Jared.
Thanks, Jared.
Thanks, man.
Yes. I'm Crystal Alcoholic. Is anybody else?
I'm Kevin, I'm not.
Hey,
One thing that I did forget to say when I was doing that, congratulations, Jason.
Thanks,
6 years, and that's all right. I guess I kind of feel that, I've watched you through this ride a little bit, and, I tell you what, I think you're doing good. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So, we're always all behind you. We're rooting you on, so
I'm gonna need
keep
you.
doing what you're doing.
I'm gonna need you.
Well, it's so very simple.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Kevin.
Kevin. Oh, okay. So this ends the meeting. So what's that? How's it go?
What you see or what you hear here?
What you
Let
hear?
it-
Stay here.
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 Look, big man.
Nice job, guys. Good job. Look at you guys.
Katie, get in there.
Come on in, the water's warm.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Keep coming back, it works if you work it.
Hey, good to see you, sir.
Hey, John. John, right? You okay?
I usually work Sunday, so I don't get to come here. I got today off.
Yeah, it's been a little while since I've come to this one.
Huh?
It's been a while since I've been here.
I used to come here all the time. times this year.
Right in front of her.
Well, you're moving on. Usually, they work holidays too. I don't know why I got today off.
You want to cross off and how do you want to do it?
Like I said, now everybody got up and did jumping jacks.
A hundred?
We saw him on it wasn't anything too That's exactly used to do when I was drunk. Rest is zero and get content stuff, yeah.
Well, because, you know, this is going, I get in and she's like, you know, we're going to Walmart, right? I go, I gotta eat Johnny. She can run that all night. So. Yeah.
You sang it.
We're allowed to try to do that.
Yeah, I did it.
Oh, you did?
Somebody does have sugar, like, only native sugar.
Other than spiders. I actually had a sourdough. I have a sourdough. Let me just tell you, it was a big, so I had,
What place?
it was from the strawberry. No.
Oh, you're not going to the next
I absolutely not.
We're going to be really good options, to be honest. Oh, yeah.
They asked if I wanted the
Oh,
special.
I forgot. I thought it was too, but.
Hello, Andrew.
How
They
you
wouldn't
doing?
ask, they wouldn't have found you.
Oh,
Just trying to be polite.
everybody goes through Culver's and Sally's.
Good. Got my book over here.
Did you like your inside a little bit?
Well, now it's bad. Since I'm here.
And the weather just kind of, you know, really drawn on blue. Right.
I know
Well, we
that's
could
Jim's
say
room,
too,
it's what he
at
said,
the
but
courthouse, we had
I don't know, I always just feel like hurting myself because didn't.
we had two softball games, one for him, one for her. And then the day they had a birthday party, we were able to. Yeah, exactly.
Once again, I just drank.
It was free, it was for me.
I think what would have been better for me was the very first time I got back here.
What'd you do? To your arm? Yeah, something's caught.
Wow, that and took a ball out of my butt and I got stuck in it.
Oh, really? Be ready.
You got to get this.
Judy, did you want that mug left up?
I just put it up there for Jason.
Okay. Tom, thanks for bringing pizza.
Oh, you're welcome.
Appreciate that.
No problem.
Very good. Yep. It's nice to come here and not just
Have
eat
some of
cookies.
this. How's that pork
I
stuff?
get it done in like 45 minutes.
The pork is awesome.
Why
Too.
so you don't
So is
like
the
the pork?
pizza.
No.
Nikki knocking about her, she was delivering cookies, but you still
Kevin. Yeah, because I'm really like hard at this task now.
Who are you?
My name's Jen.
Hi, Jen. I'm Tom.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I like your bubbly. And I love you.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, where's your folks? You guys by yourself?
Where's
They figured that you'd scrub some summer on them. I'll just get it out of the way.
We'll probably be here about, they gave me 3 days.
You need to hand out this room.
And I couldn't get it out of the way. I just couldn't get it out of the way. I had to put it with the stage. And it ended up.
I won't use it the first time, please. I know what's me, so.
Enough data in there for all the exam workers. I got back, I got rid of 2 of my 17 murders. So now I only got 15.
Oh, yeah. I already put you on it. I'm just playing. I definitely, I used to do that. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
More like a valley.
Surprise, Jason! Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Bring him a chair. Hold your ears, Jason. There's a card going around for Jason. Don't tell him, though. Make sure you sign it.
I try to keep them in round balls, and all around it is.
Stop. See that? It broke on me and it almost hit the ground, but I caught it just in time. Sorry.
Back all the way around. It's coming up.
I cut them down to about that big every month.
Not too bad.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Oh.
Hi, JJ. I'm your grandson. You know? He's grown up.
Hey,
Turned 22, so.
Yeah, I used to see him for a while. He did come over one or two times since, maybe a month or so.
Yeah. He come over, I go down
You want a babysitter?
my God.
Ricky's been the nursing home.
Yeah, that's what,
Good evening, everyone.
just,
Welcome to the AA Ft Recovery Group.
Hey, you're gonna have to get the mouth out. Get the
We just gotta get them out.
Do we have the thing on? It's me. Okay. Oh, they're back there having a great time.
What are you for?
You're a noisy person.
Order! Okay. My name is Crystal. I'm an alcoholic.
Hey, Crystal.
Would you guys kindly join me in the serenity prayer?
God,
grant us serenity to accept the things that cannot change, courage to change things that can, and the wisdom to Anonymous is a fellowship of people who share their experience, strength, and hope with each other. That they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are a self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organization, or institutions. Does not wish to engage in any controversy. Neither endorse nor oppose any cause. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and to help the other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. I asked someone to read how it works.
Hi everybody, I'm John, alcoholic.
Hey, John.
And this is how it works with the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. Wherever have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path? Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to the simple program. Usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. There are such unfortunates. They are not at fault. They seem to have been born that way. They are naturally incapable of grasping and developing a manner of living that demands rigorous honesty. Their chances are less than average. There are those, too, who suffer from grave emotional and mental disorders. Many of them do recover if they have the capacity to be honest. Our stories disclose in a general way what we used to be like, what happened, and what we are like now. If you have decided you want what we have or are willing to go to any length to get it, then you are ready to take certain steps. And some of these we bought. We thought we could find an easier, softer way, but we could not. With all the earnestness at our command, we beg of you to be fearless and thorough from the very start. Some of us have tried to hold on to our own ideas, and the result was nil until we let go absolutely. Remember, we deal with alcohol, cunning, baffling, powerful. Without help, it is too much for us, but there is one who has all power. That one is God, may you find him now. Half measures availeth nothing. We stood at the turning point. We ask his protection and care with complete abandon. Here are the steps we took, which are suggested as a program of recovery. 1, we admitted we were powerless over alcohol and that our lives had become unmanageable. 2, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him. 4, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5, admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6, we're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. 7, humbly ask him to remove our shortcomings. 8, made a list of all the persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. 9, made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10, continued to take personal inventory when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood him, praying only for the knowledge of his will for us and the power to carry that out. 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. Many of us exclaimed, what an order, I cannot go through with it. Do not be discouraged. No one among us has been able to maintain anything like perfect adherence to these principles. We are not saints. The point is that we are willing to grow along spiritual lines. The principles we have set down are guides to progress. We claim spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection. Our description of the alcoholic, the chapters to the agnostic, and our personal adventures before and after made clear 3 pertinent ideas. A, that we were alcoholic and could not manage our own lives. B, that probably no human power could have relieved our alcoholism. And C, that God could and would if he resolved. Thank you.
I asked someone to read the promises.
I'm Tom, alcoholic. We're painstaking about this phase of development. We'll be amazed before we're halfway through it. We're going to know a new freedom and new happiness. We will not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. We will comprehend the word serenity and we will know peace. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see our experience can benefit others. That feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. We will lose interest in selfish things and get interest in our fellows. Self-seeking will slip away. Our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. Fear of people and of economic insecurity will leave us. We will intuitively know how to handle situations and cease to baffle us. We will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we cannot do for ourselves. Are these extravagant promises? No. They are being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They will always materialize if we work for them.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks.
I asked another friend to read the daily reflections.
I'm Andrew, recovering alcoholic.
Andrew.
May the 25th. Progressive gratitude. Gratitude should go forward rather than backwards, as Bill says at page 29. I am very grateful that my higher power has given me a second chance to live a worthwhile life. Though Alcoholics Anonymous, through Alcoholics Anonymous, I have been restored to sanity. The promises are being fulfilled in my life. I am grateful to be free from the slavery of alcohol. I am grateful for peace of mind and opportunity to grow. But my gratitude should go forward rather than backwards. I cannot stay sober on yesterday. Meetings or facts. 12-step college. I need to put my gratitude into action today. Our co-founder said our gratitude can best be shown by sharing the message to others. Without action, my gratitude is just a pleasant emotion. I need to put it into action by working step 12, by sharing the message and practicing the principles in all my affairs. I am grateful for the chance to carry the message today.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks, Andrew.
I asked someone to read 24 hours a day.
Being an alcoholic. This May 25th AA talk for today. 12 step work and 13 is conviction. Prospects must be convinced that they honestly want to stop. They must see and admit that their lives are demanding. They must face the fact that they must do something about their drinking. They must be absolutely honest with themselves and face themselves as they really are. They must be convinced that they must give up drinking, and they must see that their whole life depends on this conviction. But I care enough about other alcoholics to help them reach this conviction. Meditation for the day. There is no limit to what you can accomplish in helping others. Keep that thought always. Never relinquish any work or give up the thought of any accomplishment because it seems beyond your power. God will help you in all good work. Only give it up if you feel that it's not God's will for you. In helping others, think of a tiny seed under the dark, hard ground. There is no certainty that when it has forced its way up to the surface, sunlight and warmth will greet it. Often a task is beyond your power, but there is no limit to what you can accomplish with God's help. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may never become discouraged in helping others. I pray that I may always rely on the power of God to help me.
Thanks, Hagen. And I asked someone to read
Mindy, alcoholic. Surveying the past. We should make an accurate and really exhaustive survey of our past life as it has affected other people. In many instances, we shall find that though the harm done to others has not been great, we have nevertheless done ourselves considerable emotional injury. Then too, damaging emotional conflicts persist below the level of consciousness, very deep, sometimes quite forgotten. Therefore, we should try hard to recall and review those past events which originally induced these conflicts and which continue to give our emotions violent twists, thus discoloring our personalities and altering our lives for the worse. We reacted more strongly to frustration than normal people. By reliving these episodes and discussing them in strict confidence with somebody else, we can reduce their size and therefore their potency in the unconscious.
Thanks, Mindy.
Thank you, Mindy.
And I have my dear friend to do the coins, tokens.
I'm here for you.
Yes, absolutely.
Jim,
Oh, hey, Jim.
does your ministry got these here coins to celebrate Christmas bride? Begin with a wellness coin or 24-hour coin. Anybody want one of those? All right, then we have monthly coins, 1 through 3 months. Anybody in there? Time within there? Then we pick back up at 6 through 11 months. And we have 1 year. 2 to 3 years. 4 or 5 years. How about 6 years? Anybody get that?
All right, Jason.
There you go. All right. Any year thereafter. Anybody have any time you'd like to celebrate? All right. If you haven't had a drink today, give yourself a higher five.
There is loose, oh, I knew that. There is loose youth literature available in meeting schedules and books, back at the table. Is there any announcements from the floor?
Yeah.
Left the flyers away at our house.
Flyers
Oh,
still
my
at
God.
the house. Oh my God, this is getting old. Can you help? All right. Okay, July 12th is Pine Lake Convention, 13th annual. Show up. We're gonna get the hamburgers, brats, and hot dogs, and you can all bring a food item if you like to share it. And bring your own drinks, preferably non-alcoholic. Yeah, and then what else?
It opens at 10.
It opens at 10 if you want to come at 10.
We usually
But-
get around in.
Yeah, and we usually meet right outside where they take your money.
We'll start eating around 2.
Yeah. Hey.
Simple as that.
Yeah, that's it.
And we have stories.
Yeah, plenty of time to get that social body on.
I'm Kevin, I'm not Paul.
Kevin.
And I believe on June the 8th, they'll be having an ice cream social here. They normally put us in the house next door. I haven't talked to anybody from the church yet, but I imagine they'll be calling me. If for some reason we can't meet over there, we have met over at the park in the shelter house over here before. So I'll see if I can't get some information this week and know what we're doing next week. That's all.
Next
That's
week.
good.
Yeah.
Any more announcements? We passed the 7 tradition basket. Now it's time to introduce ourselves. I'm Crystal, an alcoholic.
Chrissy, alcoholic.
Taking alcohol.
Ryan, I'm an alcoholic.
Jen, alcoholic.
Jen. Hey, I'm Joni, I'm an alcoholic.
Jim, alcoholic.
I'm out.
Kevin, I'm calling.
Wayne, I'm an alcoholic.
Mindy, alcoholic.
Aaron, alcoholic.
Fred, alcoholic.
I'm James West, I'm an alcoholic.
I'm Katie, I'm an alcoholic.
Jason, alcoholic.
Jared, alcoholic.
Andrew, recovering alcoholic.
I'm John, alcoholic.
I'm Tom, alcoholic.
Anyone from the phone?
No, I'm Sharon, recovering alcoholic.
Hey, Sharon.